Welcome back to the rest of the story. What you see here is a visual representation of why I have trust issues. This is by no means a light dusting of snow, like the weather person said last night. What we ended up getting is right around an inch of this fluffy white stuff. Now I went ahead and made some precautions last night because I know they were saying snow, and as I just got done saying, I don't trust nobody when it comes to the weather, especially when they start talking about that dreaded S word stuff. So I ended up, we had the carts and the combine loaded full of corn because we were waiting on a truck. Yes, I'm not going to get into details as to why we have to wait for a truck. Oh, heck, why not? Ryan's Freightliner is getting really close to being road ready, and the reason I say that is because we're going through, or he is going through. I have no nothing to do with that truck as far as I'm concerned, and I'm just, I'm the one paying for him to haul my grain when he does, and he has to go through and make sure he gets everything filled out and switched over and tires on it, which I did have a part in that on that truck. So it is road legal, and it's getting really close. So, in the meantime, I'm not willing to sit around and wait for the truck to be ready. Unfortunately, we have weather conditions that are very, very variable, and just can't really afford to sit and wait around for a truck when at least we can get it hired and get it gone. So, that behind us, you can see that I'm doing something I have always heard about doing. I've never experienced this myself. I think Dad has done this once before, combined in the snow, and I don't think it was even for us. It was for a local farmer. Grandpa was hired, Dad was hired out to do some custom harvesting in like January. So, what we ended up doing, I grabbed a couple tarps and a canvas. I went through and put the tarp over the corn in the green Easy Trail grain cart of my dad's, because even though it didn't cover everything, it covered most of it. I mean, there's probably like maybe 5% of the corn showing. And then I went through the canvas over top of the corn in the combine hopper to make sure that I wasn't going to get a whole bunch of snow, potentially, because you just prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And was able to keep the snow off of my corn, because the corn is coming out of the field at 17.7% the night before. The next morning, I'm filming this at like 6 in the morning, and it's coming off at 18.3. So it gained a little bit of moisture, and the very last stuff I combined, which we just got done with this farm 2 hours ago, it was actually coming off about 19%. But it was also a different variety of corn too, so I guess I can't really say too much about the weather on that. So the thing is, I imagine this is okay for some people, and other people are maybe appalled that I'm doing this, combining when there's snow on the corn stalks. But the way I look at it, you do what you got to do, and I don't trust the weather. My friend in particular, he did tell me you got to watch out so you're not icing up everything in the back end, all your sieves. That was not an issue. I mean, this is the first, because I went through and I combined out the carts all over again. And the first load that I was doing had the most amount of snow, as you can see. But what I was trying to do, and I wasn't doing too bad at it, but when you're running a harvester like this, you're watching everything. You see, I have to check my phone to see what somebody messaged me, or what the latest news is on Instagram or Facebook. I mean, I don't know, somebody could have gotten a new dog for all I know. Trying to keep up on the latest things, right? All right, back to being serious. You have to watch pretty much everything that you're doing. But what I was trying to do is I was trying to offset the head just enough that I wasn't going to risk and this corn in this farm, by the way, did stand really well. The emergence was terrible, but the corn that was there, I didn't have a whole lot of corn that was falling over, so I was satisfied there. But I was trying to do is I was trying to run offset just enough that the snoots were shaking the plants, and it was shaking off the snow before it even made it to the head, or at least back to the not the chain rolls, the belts, the intake chains, because we do have those brushes on, and those brushes kind of work against me a little bit because they were grabbing the snow and pulling it in. But I didn't see any snow build up in the grain tank, so at least I wasn't worried about snow making it that far into the machine. And all the rest of those I did after this, the snow had melted, and I mean the ground was starting to get muddy. I mean the last stuff that we combined, I was actually unloading like every other pass. I mean the hopper wasn't full, but I had to keep the combine as light as I could keep it because I was sliding sideways in some spots. I mean, no, I really don't. Really not crazy about the fact that I had to combine like this, but we do have about 4 more farms to go, and we're a third the way through November. Can't really help that too much. I mean, if we would have had the 2 weeks in October that we lost because of all the rain we had, we would probably be done with harvest. And it's not a copy paste of last year, but it's awfully close because last year we did lose 2-3 weeks in October too, and I mean we started in September. So moving on, I am running at different speeds. If anybody has noticed, I'm going to address that question right now. The combine does a good job separating the crops, depending on corn, beans, whatever. If you're on perfectly level terrain, the combine works great because everything is flowing through evenly. It's not all to one side of the back end of the combine. I mean, it is flowing through like it should. Now the problem is that on our ground that we're on, we don't find a whole lot of completely nice level spots across our fields. And what happens is that the corn, as it's coming through the back end of the combine, it's all going to one side, so it's overloading it. And it's only so much surface area back there for it to fall back down through the separating mechanisms that you risk throwing corn out the back of the combine. And I don't know about any of the rest of you, but I have a really big problem with seeing corn flying out the back of the combine. Especially seems how I went to all the work and worry of getting it planted, getting it cultivated, and side dressed, by the way, which, on another note, I really feel like that really helped this corn crop this year. And worrying about the weather, to get this crop made, to see it get run through the combine and just get dumped out of the back end onto the ground. It's not really a good practice to have. I mean, a good argument would be, update your combine, get a bigger combine. Well, seems how we bought a truck. I didn't buy a truck. Ryan bought a truck. So there is a semi on the farm. I mean, we have gradually taking steps towards updating and improving, and it's gradually getting to where we're going to have to start looking at a different combine. I don't know when it's going to happen. Don't ask me, and I'll just be glad to get through the rest of harvest this year without any more issues. So, the 9510 does a great job. It's been really reliable. I mean, I had nothing against it at all. It's just that when we did buy it, we were still milking cows. We were only running, not even half the amount of corn and soybeans through like we are now. And at the time, it was the perfect size machine for what we needed then. Now, anything that we look at buying from here on out, it's going to be looking for what'll work for us at that current point in time, plus any potential growth that we'll be seeing in the next few years, 10 years beyond that. So as far as what size to be going for, don't know. Anything from being able to run an 8-row to a 12-row. Definitely don't want to stick with a 6-row because we need to be able to pull through more crop into the machine in an hour. And our harvest would probably be done just the fact that we got a semi would definitely speed up our harvest, because we can at least run that much later and at least get the combine or the semi loaded for the next morning and get the carts loaded and whatever else. So I'm feeling, we're all feeling really good as far as where we are currently situated. Um, yeah, as far as the corn goes, the corn is doing a lot better than I thought it would. Now, the only problem I had was, like I said, we were having some stand issues. If you look off to the far left of the screen, you can see that there are some noticeable gaps between the plants in the row. And I was thinking that it was going to do really poor. I was thinking like 150 bushel to the acre. I mean, I was preparing my gut for it. And luckily for me, it was running about 20 bushels above that. I'm pretty content with that. And the sprayer and cultivator blight on the right there, you can see where I'm missing a whole row for about 30 feet. And that really tends to hurt too. And, well, I actually had a lot more to talk about, but I'm out of video. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope I never have to do another video in the snow ever again when we're trying to combine. But, you know, it's Wisconsin, so what do you do? So, take care, take it easy, keep in touch. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to let you in on it right now, but we were talking earlier whether or not we're going to get any tillage done this fall, so you guys may be missing out on some 4640 chisel plowing videos. So keep your fingers crossed and hope for the best. Until next time, I'll talk to you later.